Howdy y'all, and welcome to another episode of Sweet Tea in a Movie. This week, the Green Hornet.
Cover your eyes, she said run, but I'm not running, no, I'm not running. Let 'em come, but I'm not running, no, I ain't running no more.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a tea. They don't make sense, but I'm still happy. Alrighty, so, this week we're going to talk about the movie The Green Hornet. Let's go ahead and jump right in. First off, let's talk about the acting. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Seth Rogen needs to stop with all the inappropriate jokes. And I'm pretty sure you know what I mean when I say inappropriate jokes. And the reason I say this is because Seth Rogen could actually be a really good actor when he does serious stuff. If he was given a role where he had to be completely serious, I'm pretty sure he would do very good, actually. And the reason I say that is partly because he does a good job voice acting in the movie Kung Fu Panda as the praying mantis. But in this movie, he delivers a line very seriously and very well. And I'm not really spoiling anything because I can't really sum it up that well anyway. Basically, he says to this guy, "Get out of my office right this second." But the way he delivers the line is very serious and very good. And like I said before, if Seth Rogen could just stick to being serious and not with all the inappropriate, honestly a bit immature jokes, it would be just so much of a better performance. The guy who played Kato was just great. He was a great guy. He did some awesome stunts and he fit his role pretty well. Kind of adding a sense of innocence, but also a sense of I will kick your butt if you step across that line-ishness. And I did not know that Cameron Diaz was in this movie. And she was so-so. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed by her performance, to be honest. That's really all I gotta say as far as actors. Except I do want to mention that the guy who played the main villain, I like the fact that he actually had an inferiority complex, in a sense, and that was pretty cool for drawing him in as a villain. So props to the acting for the most part on this movie. Music, I have nothing to say for the music because it was forgettable. Settings. Now, if you've watched my previous review, you know that I kind of bash cities for looking fairly bland, but the fact that this movie is pretty much shot as a real movie and not as an animated feature, because I think the last few movies that I bashed cities were animated, it looked really good actually. I really liked the settings, whether it was at the house or if it was on the streets. It looked all good. Points for the good settings. And finally, the story. It was okay. It wasn't super impressive by any means. Well, actually, I really shouldn't say that, because the third act, when that finally kicked in, it brought the serious tone, and it brought it good. And man, the movie just kicked off from that point. Not to say that the first two acts were boring, because they had their really funny bits and their, slightly interesting bits, but really the best part of the movie is the third act, the last 45 or so minutes. So, sort of mediocre story that really kicks in well at the third act. Kind of like Faster. And now for a special note about the cinematography. The cinematography was actually pretty good. I'm really happy that this movie decided to stick with the good approach of keeping the camera steady instead of shaking it everywhere. Action, documentary, Even during the action scenes, and I felt that it made it better. Two more special notes. The special effects were awesome. I know it's the beginning of the year, but so far, best special effects of any of the movies I've seen so far this year. Really. They were they were really good. They were awesome. You can look at the trailers and see how very well done they are. And finally, the stunts. Like I said before, when the third act kicks in, the movie really just jumps out. And wow, the stunts at the end, my gosh. I went with a group of people and we were all going, oh, and whoa, and oh, and stuff like that. It makes you audibly recognize that these stunts are awesome. So that's really cool. Time for me to give this movie a score. Now, for all the praise I've given it, it's still a fairly mediocre movie. But it's not the kind of mediocre that makes you mad because it could have done more, because the stunts and the special effects are really the most awesome parts of this movie. So, with that aside, I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10, slightly above average. If you want, go see it in the movie theaters, maybe at a time where you can get a discount for the tickets, or wait till it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray. But if you're a person who likes really awesome stunts, martial arts, gadgets and rockets and stuff like that, and some immature comedy, then go ahead and go see this movie. So that's it. I'm done. Peace out.
Enjoy your little reviews, Jake, because things are going to be changing soon. Oh yes, things are going to change.